Sawadee Kap. Questions and actions. Again, with the Q&A. Questions and actions, not questions and answers. Little Timmy. We create stress for ourselves because you feel like you have to do it. You have to. I don't feel that anymore. Ofra. You like you some Ofra? She has a book club. The Ofra Book Club. Actress and talk show host, the Oprah Winfrey Show. The key to having more time is doing less, and there are two paths to getting there, both of which should be used together. Number one, define a to-do list, and two, define a not-to-do list, which I don't think anybody ever does. So that's cool. That's different. In general terms, there are but two questions. What 20% of sources are causing 80% of my problems and unhappiness? Yes, just a little. See that? I just went like that for now. For my OCD peeps out there. What 20% of sources are resulting in 80% of my desired outcome and happiness? So, what 20% are causing most of the problems and unhappiness, and what 20% are causing the good stuff, income, happiness, your goal, what helps you towards your goal. Hypothetical cases can help us get started. Number one, if you had a heart attack, I've had two, and had to work 2 hours per day, what would you do? Not 5 hours, not 4 hours, not 3, 2 hours. It's not where I want you ultimately to be, but it's a start. Besides, I can hear your brain bubbling already. That's ridiculous. Impossible. I know. If I told you that you could survive for months functioning quite well on 4 hours of sleep per night, would you believe me? Probably not. Notwithstanding, millions of new mothers do it all the time. Good point. That makes sense. This exercise is not optional. The doctor has warned you, after triple bypass surgery, that if you don't cut down your work to 2 hours per day for the first 3 months post-op, you will die. How would you do it? What's that look like? Make a plan to make that happen. Good exercise. If nothing else, guys, do the exercise, do the work. You'd be surprised. If you had a second heart attack and had to work 2 hours per week, what would you do? There you go. Starting to funnel it down. If, number two, that was, if you had a second heart attack, 2 hours per week, not per day. Now, three, if you had a gun to your head and had to stop doing 4/5 of different time-consuming activities, what would you remove? So basically force yourself to say, how do I eliminate 80% of the stuff I do every day? Emails, phone calls. What's not productive? Simplicity requires ruthlessness. If you had to stop 4/5 of time-consuming activities, email, phone calls, conversations, paperwork, meetings, advertising, customers, suppliers, products, services, etc., what would you eliminate to keep the negative effect on income to a minimum? Used even once per month, this question alone can keep you sane and on track. Adjustment. Like adjusting your, well, I won't say it. Number four, what are the top 3 activities that I use to fill time to feel as though I've been productive? These are usually used to postpone more important actions, often uncomfortable, because there is a chance of failure or rejection. Be honest with yourself, as we all do this on occasion. What are your crutch activities? Number 5, who are the 20% of people who produce 80% of your enjoyment? The friends and family too, not just business. And propel you forward, and which 20% cause 80% of your depression, anger, or second guessing. Identify positive friends versus time-consuming friends. Who is helping versus hurting you? And how do you increase your time with the former while decreasing or eliminating your time with the latter? Who is causing me stress disproportionate to the time I spend with them? What will happen if I simply stop interacting with these people? Fear setting helps here. Which, in other words, you look at what it looks like. If I stop talking to that person, if they're not in my life anymore, what's that look like? And other than the initial uncomfortableness, does it really hurt you in your goals and what you're trying to do? Actually, it will wind up your more productive. When do I feel starved for time? What commitments, thoughts, and people can I eliminate to fix this problem? Yeah, who are your time suckers, I call them. Exact numbers aren't needed to realize that we spend too much time with those who poison us with pessimism, sloth, and low expectations of themselves and the world. It rubs off. It rubs off on you. It is often the case that you have to fire certain friends or retire from particular social circles to have the life that you want. This isn't being mean, it is being practical. Poisonous people do not deserve your time. To think otherwise is masochistic. So now he's really getting into the psychology of it, right? But a lot of times, like I said, it comes down to you don't feel like you deserve it. Once you believe you deserve it, then all this stuff will make sense. Right? Firing a friend seems horrific right now because you don't think you deserve not to have pessimistic people in your life. But the truth is you really do deserve not to have pessimistic people in your life. The best way to approach a potential break is simple. Confide in them honestly but tactfully and explain your concerns. If they bite back, your conclusions have been confirmed. Drop them like any other bad habit. If they promise to change, spend at least 2 weeks apart to develop other positive influences in your life and diminish psychological dependency. The next trial period should have a set duration and consists of pass or fail criteria. You're grading them on their friendship. Sounds harsh, but it's a very smart thing to do. Because what you're doing by doing this stuff we're talking about, you're managing your life like you would manage a business. And that actually makes sense. It sounds cold and remote and distant and technical and unfeeling and all this stuff, but it really makes a lot of sense and ultimately will lead to more happiness on your part. It really will. If this approach is too confrontational for you, just politely refuse to interact with them. Just ghost them, right? Be in the middle of something when the call comes. Have a prior commitment when the invitation to hang out comes. Once you see the benefits of decreased time with these people, it'll be easier to stop communication altogether. When you finally get to the gym and start working out, you see the results, you feel better, you go to the gym more. But you got to get that initial push where you're out of your comfort zone in the beginning. Breaking up with a friend or going to the gym. They're both uncomfortable in the beginning, but once you get rolling and used to it, you like it. You like the results. I'm not going to lie. It sucks. It hurts like pulling out a splinter. But you are the average of the 5 people you associate with most. I was waiting for him to get to that. That's exactly what I was thinking when he's like, fire these people. Because if you hang with people who are fucking losers and depressed and lazy, you're going to be a fucking loser and depressed and lazy, and you don't want to be. So what he's saying makes perfect sense. So do not underestimate the effects of your pessimistic, unambitious, or disorganized friends. If someone isn't making you stronger, they're making you weaker. And once again, this whole thing probably sounds cutthroat and nasty and blah, 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 but try it. Take your worst offender, somebody who takes up the most time and is just, fucking Debbie Downer and brings you down every time you talk to them. Fire them and see how that makes your life better. And from there you'll be hooked and you'll fire everybody who isn't making you better, stronger. Remove the splinters and you'll thank yourself for it. I'm going to end there. And one objection I could see some people having to this is, what if it's family? So I keep it real on here. I shoot from the hip and talk from the heart. So here's my deal. I haven't spoken to my mother since 2008. And for a lot of people, that's like, oh my God, oh, you horrible person. You're the devil, right? Like little Nicky, his mother, or Waterboy, his mother, Kathy Bates. He's the devil. Dick Clark's the devil. What happened was I was planning a trip to Italy, and I was very much looking forward to it because I've always liked Italy. That's where I was going to retire, based on my trip there. 2 weeks in Italy, seeing like 10 or 14 cities. It was really great. It was an amazing time. Memories for life. I love it. I will be back based on that trip. My mother, who is one of these people Tim's talking about, she's negative, she's depressed, she's angry, she's just got all kinds of issues. Lots of people have issues. Well, she's got issues, and luck of the draw, that's the cards I was dealt as a kid. This was my mother, this fucked up human being who needs professional help. She could definitely benefit from psychotherapy, and of course she wouldn't go because she sees that as being weak. So that's her problem, not mine. But while I was living under her roof as a child, it was my problem because, living with a friggin' psycho. So here's the thing. I didn't want her to go to Italy because I knew she would ruin the trip because she's a downer. Everything's negative. Everything's about her. If you ever saw The Sopranos, Tony Soprano's mom, Livia, always complaining, always putting everything that reminded me when I saw that series so much of my mom. I mean, they are spitting images. Nothing's ever her fault. She's controlling. She's a fucking lunatic and a bitch. So that's my mom. It is what it is. I didn't ask for her. I inherited her. I got her. That's who birthed me. It happens. I would not be friends with this woman or talk to this woman if she wasn't my mom. So for years and years and years, till 2008, so 45 years, I respected the position. Like you respect a teacher, like you respect, your boss. I respected the position, not the person, because she wasn't worthy of respect as a person. Well, when I said to my sister, Stacy, I don't want, your mother going to Italy with us because she's such a pain in the ass, and Stacy agreed. She knows she is a pain in the ass. She got angry, my mother, and said, in 2005 I had gotten cancer, right? So 2 heart attacks, mini stroke, hospitalized me, and cancer. Yeah, I'm still standing. I'm from Jersey. You guys don't understand. I'm too fucking mean to die. So anyway, in 2008, 3 years after I beat cancer, she said she was so angry that I didn't want her to go to Italy with us. She said, I hope he gets cancer again. That's a quality human being right there. So my immediate thought was, thank God I'm free. I'm never going to talk to her again. I'm not going to respect the position again. Logically, right, this is what came through my head. No real mother, and for any of you who are as a mother or even a father, if anybody who has a child out there, when I said that about her saying, I hope he gets cancer again, even though it was in anger, I think the first thought that should have gone through your head was, what a horrible thing for somebody, a parent, right, never mind mother, father, to say. And my thought was, no real parent would ever say that about their child, no matter how angry they are. So that was a beautiful thing for me. I didn't curl up in a ball and cry because that's not who I am. I was happy because now I no longer had to respect the position, because no true parent would ever say that about their child. So she's not my mother. She might have been acting as it, more or less shitty, but she took the role for 45 years, mother, but she lost that respect. She lost that role, though. She lost the right to be called my mother when she made that statement. I hope he gets cancer again. So it's been freeing. It's been liberating. Exactly what Tim is saying. Getting her out of my life was the best thing I ever did, because she's negative, because she's psychotic, because she's a downer, she's a time sucker, she's negative. She's all the things I don't want to be. So I don't need her in my life. So if you call me out and say, oh, bullshit, Greg, you say you could fire your friends, what about family? I fired family. And I've never been happier. It's had a tremendous, positive, spiritual, emotional, physical, my life has been way better in the 13 years that I haven't spoken with her than it was when I was respecting the position. So, full disclosure, guys, that's a fact. I haven't spoken to my own mother since 2008, and that's why. I don't believe she deserves the title from what she said. And once again, I'm sure it was in anger or whatever. I don't care. And once again, the positive effect on my life has been geometric. I mean, it's, oh, what a relief it is, just not to have to deal with that crazy bitch. I don't care that she's my mother. If you evaluate her as a human being, she has a failing grade. I don't need her in my life. I don't want her in my life. I'm much, much happier without her. So there you go. Once again, practical examples of what's in the book. This book speaks the truth. I personally, agree with everything he said so far, even though I could see where a lot of people would struggle with this exercise, firing friends and family who aren't on the same path you are. You have to let them go. They're holding you down. They're chains around your neck and your ankles. And as emotionally difficult as it is for most people to deal with, I'm comfortably numb, as we talked about before in other videos. It wasn't that hard, but you will have the same results I did, which is this liberation and this tremendous sense of being free and happy by unloading the cargo that you're carrying around, the burden. So, real talk, real stuff, real examples from the book, case studies, whatever you want to call it. It's true. Everything he's saying is 100% true, and I'm living proof in a lot of ways. Living here, not talking to my mom for whatever, 5 years, whatever the hell it's been, 3 years, 4, 2008, 15, 13 years. 13 years I haven't talked, and it's been a great 13 years. Y'all be good.